9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the podcast from Dug Ground Up Productions with hosts Lady Miz and Ray. This is a universal platform, and there is nothing off limits. We talk about it all, and we keep it real. This is a no judgment zone, so come as you are. If you are a professional, entertainer, author, comedian, entrepreneur, or just someone who wants to get something off their chest, well, let your voice be heard here on From the Ground Up Productions. Sponsorship and other opportunities are available from the Ground Up Productions. Turning nothing into something. There's only one way to go from here. And now, here are your hosts, Lady Miz and Ray.
What's good, people? It's your girl, Lady Miz, and y'all rocking out with me and my co-host.
Ray, what's up, y'all?
Y'all already know what it is. You are tuned in to From the Ground Up Productions, and there is only one way to go from here to the top. Y'all already know what it is. Check it out. I'm excited because I love when we let independent artists come on our platform, and I love to shine the light on these indie artists because they are doing great, amazing things, and it is up for us to support them. You got to support them before the big blow up, right? So that you're not just trying to ride the wave, you know what I mean? Because you know how people are. They try to support you like after, and then they be like, oh, I always been there. No. They know who's supporting them from the beginning. From the ground up, we always rocking from the beginning, baby. So listen, I want y'all to meet her. This sister is super dope, talented. She has great energy, okay? Her name is Nika Ladean. We're going to bring her on the show right now.
How are you?
Hey. Listen, we are excited to have you here on From the Ground Up Productions. We heard your song. You got some great music, and you're doing some great things. So I want the people to know all about that. But before we get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I am a Southern country girl. I'm originally from Southern Virginia, not the 757.
Okay.
The Hampton Roads area. It is like extreme, like North Carolina border in the center of the state.
Wow.
Population is like 1,600 people, 100, not 1,000. So it is very small. And so the goal is when you grow up, you just want to get the heck away from where I'm from.
Yes.
And I managed to be able to travel and to move to some other cities. And a couple years ago, I found myself in DC. And this is where I've been, like I said, for the past almost 2 years now. Probably the best move I've ever made. And this is where I actually got my start in the industry.
Oh, in DC.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. All right. So that was going to be my next question. When did you actually get into music? So you got there when you moved to DC. And what made you say this is something that I want to do? What inspired you to want to do music?
So I've been singing since I was a little girl. I grew up in the church. So,
okay.
my mom found out I could sing. And the first thing she did was plop me in the choir beside my grandma. It was like there were so many Sundays I can tell you at 12 or 13, it was like, I ain't going to church there. She's like, you're getting your butt up because the choir needs you. So
I hear that. Shout out to moms.
Shout out to my mom. But she made sure that, she's like, God gave you this talent and you're going to use it. So
absolutely.
I was singing in the choir. When I became an adult, I actually became the associate director of the choir at church.
Oh.
So it got down to me divvying parts out and figuring out who's going to do the solo and things like that. I ended up in a band. Shout out to Uptown Souls out of Richmond, Virginia.
Hey.
More or less the Petersburg area. So I was singing in a band. Mm-hmm. And I actually, when I moved to DC, I had to leave the band behind. And so I didn't know exactly what the trajectory of music I didn't know where I was going to be singing. I was like, okay, it takes time to find a church if that's what I want to do.
Okay.
I don't have anybody to really produce me and guide me. So I'm going to have to find my way. And a chance encounter at work, just bumped me into the right person, and boom, you get the song Energy. So,
wow. So hold up. Is Energy your first song you ever did? Get
Energy
out of here.
is my debut single.
Oh my God. Listen, well, we cannot tell because you sound like a pro, honey. Okay. We gotta give it up for you. You sound like a pro. You sound like a pro. Beautiful, yeah. Beautiful voice. And it just sounds like that was just something you were meant to do.
My mom and I were making a joke one day because I told her, I said, I never thought I would be singing like in a studio or have a song that's done so well. And she laughed. She said, you've always loved to like you were one of those kids who always loved to entertain. She says, but at the same time, you were a child who loved to be entertained. So I think her thing was, how does it feel like being in the spotlight now when you're the entertainer and not the entertainee? And I can't lie, it's a little, I shouldn't say overwhelming. It's just, I guess I can't say it's overwhelming, but it's the refreshing welcome to just, you know, for once, like, you know, just be like, okay, yeah, this is, I feel as though there's a freedom that comes along with it.
Okay.
You know, I'm not in anybody else's shadow. I don't have to, you know, I'm doing this for me now. So it just feels good. Nice. And I'm not singing anybody else's song. I'm singing something that I wrote. That's right. You know, you're getting my voice and you're getting the tone that I want you to hear of the song. So
I love that. I love that. So is this the first song that you ever wrote, or did you write music before?
Oh, I've been writing forever. I think I was like it's the 8th grade. I had a poem that was published in like a book. My mom has the book somewhere at the house. So I've been writing since I was young. But it wasn't until I remember, this is random. First thing I ever learned how to play on the piano was Sunshine by Babyface. Really? And I actually I learned how to play it on piano, and I put my own, like I wrote my own music to it. And I had to have been maybe about 10 when I did that. So here it is, I'm playing, and I remember my aunt would come to the house, and every time she came, she's like, hey, play Sunshine for me. I'm like, do I have to? I do this every time you come over. And then she goes, sing the little thing that you do. So
you had fans early.
Yeah. Now, you know, when you started singing, did you do covers for other people's songs before you said, hey, I'm gonna write my own, or it was just, I'm gonna write my own and not do that, go that route?
So yeah, I've always loved singing covers because that's kind of how I began singing anyway. I've told this story before. You guys are going to hear it again. So if you've ever seen a video, you just hearing like a repeat of a story at this point.
It's all right.
So I was 11 years old, and I was staying with my grandmother. It was the first time anybody had ever heard me sing. I was singing Denise Williams' Silly. And my grandmother was on the phone with her mother. And so I had the radio, and this was back in the day where you had the old school, you know, it was like layered.
You had the rack system.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, on top there was like, you know, it was the plastic that flipped up and you put the vinyl on it. And then the next tier was like the radio. And then the next tier was the tape. And you had the buttons. You actually had to turn buttons. So, and you had to make sure like the little line was just right on the station, or else you get the fuzz.
Yes.
I'm aging myself a little bit.
And, so you gotta be careful.
And let me tell you, because you look like a teenager, you know what I'm saying? So to hear you talk like that, it's like, oh, okay, all right, she knows.
I'm definitely not Definitely not a teenager. Look, in this case, I'm a teenager twice. I'll just say that.
Yes,
I'm a teenager twice. So, but yeah, so I'm at my grandma's house, and Denise Williams is on the radio, and I've got the radio as loud as I think I could get it, and she's on the phone. And this was before cell phones, so you couldn't move. You couldn't take the phone with you. So she's like on the phone, and she's like, "Hey, baby, turn the radio down." And so I turned the radio down, but I just kept singing. I was like singing this Denise Williams song, and my grandma goes, "Okay, I need you to like turn the radio down." And I turned it down some more because I'm like, okay, I got it down. And then I hear her tell my great grandmother, "Hey, Mom, let me call you back." No, that's not the radio. So she hangs up the phone. She hangs up the phone, and she's just sitting there staring at me. And finally, I just look at her. I go, "What?" She's like,
"Oh my God,
you can sing like that?" And I was like, "Well, I was just mimicking her." And she's like, "But you sounded like you sound." I mean, you got to think I was 11, so the pitch of my voice was a lot higher than it is now. But she's like, "You sound like her." And wow. I was like, "You can't tell Mommy." And like I said, I ended up in the choir. Like I think it was like 2 weeks later.
Wow, she said, "Nah, you got to come show everybody this talent, baby girl. Hey, check out my baby."
So your grandmother told everybody. She did exactly what grandmothers do.
So, my start in music was singing covers. So to say, on my YouTube page, I actually have a bunch of covers that I've done, and I tried to go male and female. I tried to do some gospel. I tried to do some R&B. Nice. So I tried to mix it up a little bit. I think I might have one song on there that's not. I think I might have one song on there that's not that's not gospel or R&B. Okay. But yeah, so covers is pretty much kind of how I developed my vocals.
Your vocals and your skills. Okay. So going back to your song Energy, like, cause it sounds so great. Like it should definitely be on the radio right now.
Oh, thank you.
Tell me, who produced and mixed this?
Okay. So my producer, the producer, I actually have a production team, so I got to give all three of them a shout out. But the producer for Energy, his name is AJ Throwback. Right. AJ and I met a chance encounter at work, and I was telling he met me, and the first thing he did was he just looked at me. He was, "I don't know why, but you give me like R&B singer vibes." And I went, "Well, I'm an R&B singer." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And he's probably one of the most modest, humble people you've ever met. He never told me in the beginning that he was a producer. I think he waited like a little while, and then he was like, "I'm a producer, right?" And I was like, "You are?" And he's like, "Yeah." So for 5 months, I chased him around. "Can you produce me? Let's do some music together. Like, let's do some music together." And he'd be like, "I'm too busy," and all this stuff. And then just one day he just randomly he would always let me listen to other people's music that he had composed other people's music, and he'd be like, "You like this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna give this to such and such." And I'm like, "I don't want to hear anything else. You got the
right." Like, "Yo, hold up, you need to be giving it to me. What you talking about?"
Exactly. He knows that I'm a beat thief. I will anything he produces, I'm like, "Yeah, can I have that?" And he's like, "No, somebody else already purchased it." I'm like, "I don't care. Just tell them that you lost it or something."
Oh Lord.
So, which
don't be doing the shicey. They coming for that. They coming for people with that.
So he ended up giving me this beat that he did. And when he gave it to me, the name of it was Already Energy. Oh wow. Like I said, the name of the song was Already Energy. I have 2 other people on my production team, and they give me beats, and I can't. Shout out to Ransom Relic. Ransom will give me a beat, and he will literally name the beat. I don't know what to name this beat, and it's like
he's leaving it up to the artist. He's like, "Y'all, I did my part, okay?"
Exactly.
Finish
it. With AJ, this is actually this is the second song that he's given me about 9 songs, but this is like the second song, maybe even third song that he's given me. And I left the name exactly what he named it, because when I heard it, that's exactly how I felt when I listened to the beat. So
look at that. Destined to be. Absolutely. I got dropped the bomb on that one. That was, you know what? That was destiny, baby. That was destiny.
Yes. And like I said, he's he's the producer of this beat. Shout out to my other producer, Gladiator. Gladiator usually gives me beats and it'll have like a funky sound in it, or some kind of snare drum, or just like something random, and I hear it in the song and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write this entire song around that one little sound that some people may not even realize is there, but I hear it and it's like, this is what I feel when I hear that particular snare drum. So I don't know, I never thought about writing music like that, but I guess that's just the creator's side of me. So
So you write more of your songs to the beat that you get. You don't have them like you don't write anything without a beat, or is it?
I do write without a beat.
Oh, so you can
do write
both.
without a beat.
You just find a beat that you like, and then you'll put that song to it.
Depends. So I do have songs that I've written without a beat. So it's a song, it's basically a poem now because it's a song without a beat. And then, but every beat that I get, I will write. I don't typically take what I've already written and I guess surface it around that beat. I write the song specifically for that beat because sometimes I feel like what I've written can't do that beat justice.
Right,
so
exactly.
And not only that, but this is just me. I write everything down. And it does, like I had somebody ask me, they were like, how many songs do you write a day? I can't tell you how many songs I write a day, but I can tell you I write down like how many concepts I write a day. I probably write about 15 to 20 concepts for songs a day.
That's good.
And it's just because if I think of something, if I think of a line, then I'm writing it. The other day, someone said something to me on Facebook and I had like a little bit of a smart, like a sarcastic rebuttal for it. And I went back and I read the rebuttal and I was like, dang, I'm gonna put that on a song.
Just let me write that down. Let me trademark this.
Yeah, boom, right there. So I get, ideas from songs from anywhere. I have a whole notebook in my, like in your phone, you got the notebook in the notepad in your phone.
Yes.
I have just unwritten bars that I have in my phone because if I'm driving, then I'll go to voice memos and I'll record it on voice memos. So I've got probably about 60 voice memos of just random bars because I'll be driving and I'm like, hey, da 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 da. And then I'll go back and I'll listen to them and I'm like, yeah, that was kind of fire right there.
And that's very smart that you do that because sometimes if you don't go back, you might forget. And you never know what you could take from what you already wrote and turn that into a song. Because I do the same thing. I know exactly not as much as you do though, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Would you ever want to also write for other people?
You know what? That's something that has been proposed to me before.
Okay.
I have one objection for that. I'll even say this. There's a pro and a con that I feel for that. The pro is you'd be surprised at how much the writer gets paid as opposed to the artist. I have learned that songwriting is where it is. Like, I mean, if you can come up with the concept to a song, you'd be surprised at how much, yeah.
Absolutely.
You'd be surprised,
So
right?
that's good. So what I love, what I'm hearing right now is that although you might be kind of new to the game, Energy might be your first song, but you did your homework. You did your homework because a lot of people don't even know that.
I'm gonna tell you something that you can't trick me. Like, you're not gonna do it because
that's right.
I've had people try to tell me stuff, and I'm like, my mom has this thing of she doesn't like to argue with people. Like, her thing is you have to hit them with the "oh, okay" and move on, right? So I'm at the point now where people try to feed me that crap. I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, see you later." Like, that's it. Like, enough said. So the second part of that is I like the fact that I'm writing my own music because I know that nobody else is going to convey that point like I am as far as from a singing standpoint. Because guess what? I can write the song and give it to an artist, but that artist might not have any idea of what I'm talking about. So
that's true.
Good example in energy. I talk about twin flames. I talk about, synergy. I talk about energy. I talk about Ashford and Simpson. So it's like,
wow.
First of all, younger artists probably have no idea who Ashford and
I
Simpson
was about to say that.
The Pop Smoke people, they don't know. They don't know.
So, and then you throw in twin flame and things like that. So I could give them the song and they could sing it, but they might have no idea what I'm talking about.
And
so
that was going to be my next question to you, was what was energy all about? Like, and what made you go into that zone? I know you said the beat, you was feeling the beat and that gave you that vision. What made you want to express yourself the way that you did in that song?
So the song is basically just giving you guys an idea of what the song is about. The song is about spilling your heart to someone that you're friends with, but you have feelings for. And you just want to know, are you feeling what I'm feeling? Are we on the same page? So it's kind of like laying it all on the line and just waiting for the yay or nay. Are you going to get rejected or not?
Deep.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, everybody tuning in. We're going to play a snippet at the end of this interview, but y'all better go stream that joint and listen.
Yes.
That sounds like something that I'm sure some of y'all want to know. So go check it out.
Now, when you say that, is that something you was actually feeling when you wrote the song about a particular person, or it was just, that's what you felt when you saw the song?
No, that was just when I heard the song, that was like the first thing that came to mind. I wasn't particularly feeling it about a certain person. I have felt that way about a certain somebody before, but then they proved to be, that didn't.
Their energy wasn't right. She was like, no.
No, energy was way off. But no, the song, like I said, I think that I took points of how I remember feeling and wrote it in the song. But some of the stuff, I'll say this, like when I'm talking about twin flames and stuff like that, those are things that I know. Those are things that I've educated myself on. So the song is, while it's about having a crush, it's really about finding that person that is just meant for you. Like, I don't know, I'll kind of give like a quick rundown of twin flames. Twin flames, like a twin flame is a person whose soul, so everything is energy, going back to the song energy. And that's one of the reasons why I named the song, or the name of the song is energy, and I put twin flames in it. Your soul is energy, and your thoughts and your dreams and everything that creates you is energy. And we don't tend to think about it that way, but that's what it is. So with twin flames, you have two people who are the entities of two souls that used to be one whole soul, right?
Okay.
So what happens is, these two souls go into two different people, but they spend an eternity in search of the other person. So you get like the yin yang effect. You ever seen the circle with the yin yang, the positive and the negative?
Yes.
Like all of that is correlated together. So these two souls search for each other for an eternity, and then they might find each other, and then they die, and then the next lifetime they search for each otger again, and then they die, and then the next lifetime they search,
This sounds like a good movie, girl. I'm about to go write a script real quick.
Don't give me no ideas.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then that's essentially what a twin flame is. And I wanted to write it from a standpoint of, I know for me, I've had crushes before, but to meet a twin flame, it's like when you're that person by the energy of their soul.
Deep.
We've seen it before. You might not have realized that you've seen it before. I talk about Ashford and Simpson. That was one of, like I said, I talk about Ashford and Simpson. Look at the music that they have made. Look at that. Like they wrote, Your Precious Love, which was sang by Tammy Terrell and Marvin Gaye,
right?
Probably were twin flames too, because you don't get that much synergy between two people who sing like that. And they sang multiple songs that were written by Ashford and Simpson, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, and all of these songs. And the Ashford and Simpson were definitely twin flames. There was no denying it.
Because I was gonna ask you why you chose, out of all the singers, like Ashford and Simpson. I was thinking, like Tina Marie and Rick James, those is another people that sang good songs together.
But they were like, they didn't have that twin flame energy. You know what I'm saying? Like don't get me wrong, there's a difference between making good music together and actually having that connection.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, because
I've
heard singers who sang really well together, and then in real life they can't stand each other. Like in real life it was just like, oh my, like
oil and water.
Yeah, as soon as the recording stops, they're just like, oh my God, get away from me, So, and the same thing with production. I'm sure there's a lot of singers out here where it's just like, by the time they get home, they're just like, yeah, I hate my production team, So I use Ashford and Simpson, first of all, because it rhymed with the rest of the stuff.
She rhyming. She got bars still when she's talking.
I was like, okay, unlike any other man, you're so different. One and the same. I'm the tempo, you're the rhythm. Ashford and Simpson. You might be the Ashford to my, yep, that goes. So
wow.
I chose them, A, because it rhymes, and B, because there are other singing duos that you can feel that magic when they sing. There are some people that just, like I said, it's a beautiful song and you're just like, yeah, I didn't get what I was supposed to get from that. Or they sound good together, but you don't feel that when you listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rick James and Tina Marie.
Yeah. The Rick James. They had some joints though, but yeah, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Loga Ika is a computer graphic design center for animation used for social media, websites, music videos, and also private graphic design for book covers, logos, and many more design services to assist in enhancing the client's brand. You can find Loga Ika on Instagram at LOGOIKA.GFX.
Number one draft pick, and I approve this message.
N1DP, the hottest athletic wear, but it's not just for athletes. It's for anybody who's dope and got swag. It's not just for the fellas. Ladies, get your sexy on, be comfortable and cute. N1DP is keeping the kids fly since day one. Go to their website and get everything you need from N1DP.com.
Number one draft pick. We in the building.
If you are looking for new or used items such as furniture, clothing, appliances, and so much more, then you want to check out JD Cargo Express Thrift Store on 39 North Main Street in Middletown, New York. They are open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. They also accept donations, which you can drop off at any time during business hours. If you want to check out some nice, new, or lightly used items, such as name brand clothing and other things, then head over to JD Cargo Express Thrift Shop on 39 North Main Street, Middletown, New York. That's JD Cargo Express Thrift Shop on 39 North Street, Middletown, New York, and tell them you heard it here on From the Ground Up Productions. 5G Entertainment presents the Springfield Park 80s reunion with T-Ski Valley, Spoonie G, Mikey D, the Clientele Brothers, Diamond V, the Albino Twins, Brother Carter, the Rockaway Twins, Lady Miz and Ray from the Ground Up Productions, Sedan the God of Sound, Sunshine, Yak Attack, King Charlie Prince, the Black Tarzan, Disco Twins and DJ Small, Infinity Machine, Harvey Divine the Great. That's right, it's going down July 17th from 12 noon to 8 p.m. at 145th and 147th Ave, Springfield Boulevard, Queens, New York. Y'all don't want to miss this event. It's about to go down. Now, talk to me about, I know that you're saying this is your first song and everything like that, but what is your goal? What is your ultimate goal to get out of this music industry and music career?
So I'm going to say this. I learned a long time ago that when I make goals for myself, it puts so much of a strain on me when I don't meet them. So I've learned something. I don't really write goals down. I don't make goals for myself. I manifest. I manifest exactly what I want and I speak it into existence. Because I'll say this, 2020, every year at the beginning of the year, I would write out the list of goals that I wanted to do. I'm like, yeah, I got to do this, I need this, I want this. And I would put maybe like 20, 25 things on this list. So I went back and I looked at 2018, I looked at 2019, and I got a few things accomplished, not as much, not all 20, 25 things on the list.
Okay.
So 2020 came, January 2020, I made this list. And then COVID happened. And I went back at the beginning of 2021 and I looked at that list and I was like, I ain't do nothing on this list from 2020. But when
we was quarantining. Don't take it too bad like that. You know what I'm saying? I swear it wasn't your fault. It was COVID-19. Okay.
But I say this to say, when I look at the things that I did accomplish in 2020, it far outweighed the things that were my goals. So now I'm like, okay, you know what? While I didn't do this, I did this and I did that. I just don't even write goals anymore. So to say what my goal is, as far as music, I'm just manifesting that at least one person, if one person can hear my song and feel something towards it, then I've reached my goal. That's all I ask,
Well, you reached it with us because we felt it.
Thank you. I had to laugh because I was saying that the other day. I was actually in the middle of an interview the other day and I said the same thing. I was like, yeah, as long as one person, it'll reach one person, then I'm good. And as soon as I said that, I got an email like pop up on my screen and it said, we've received 1,771 calls, emails, and texts about your song. And it was like, okay, I
said one. Oh my gosh.
So
that's amazing.
I mean,
that's that energy manifesting right there.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And the thing is, I don't want to set anything unrealistic. I've heard other artists and they're just like, yeah, I want a record deal and I'm gonna sign this and it's gonna be $3.5 million. And I'm like, do you understand? First of all, that they're not just giving you $3.5 million, boo. That's your budget. And you gotta fit everything in that $3.5 million. So what are you really left with? Are you gonna be living large? Are you gonna be living like Rick Ross and his castle that was used in Coming to America 2? Or are you gonna be living like TLC when they went to the Grammys and were like, we broke, You
remember that? Oh, that was crazy.
Pebbles did them in. She did them in. And Tony Braxton too. Tony Braxton as well. So I like my dad even asked, he was like, so he's like, what are you gonna do? Dr. Dre's driving down the road and he hears your song and all this stuff. I was like, well, I hope he enjoys it.
Okay.
And my dad's like, so you want to sign with Dr. Dre? I was like, I want to remain an independent artist.
That was going to be my next question. Wow. Okay. Because indie obviously is the move now. People just don't want to sign to a label. They like the freedom to do what they want and ownership. Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah, that's beautiful.
And not only that, but I want to be on my own time. Like I went through creator's block a few weeks ago, and I literally lazed around for a good week and a half. I was like, I don't feel like doing anything. I don't want to do anything music. And so I don't need someone breathing down my neck going, hey, did you have it yet? We need it. Did you have it yet? We need it. Like, look, let me just lay here and watch some cartoons and leave me alone.
I don't know. It don't seem like you have a lot of pressure. If you said you're saving everything to your phone, it's like, all right, you want a song? Let me just go and put some word.
60 bars right this morning.
Yeah, but I want to have a constant arsenal. You know, that's my thing. It's like I said, I write everything down.
Nice.
Now I will say this. I've had a history of anxiety and depression. You will rarely hear me write about my anxiety and depression. I rarely write about that because one day I'm not going to be here. One day obviously we're all going to pass away. One day I'm not going to be here. I don't want my legacy to read sad woman. I wanted to read like, dang, she went through this, but this was the result of it. And so all of my songs are not about the sadness that I went through, but here's the result of it.
Right. How you got through it, not what you went through, but how you got through it. I love that. I gotta give you some claps for that one. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. You can tell that you have a good energy and good spirit. You can just see it and you can feel it, you know, in your picture, smiles, all of that is beautiful. I can't wait for people to hear your song. We're going to play a snippet of it. Guys, when you hear this joint, if you like it, and I know you will, because it's dope, make sure y'all go and stream it. Make sure y'all go and support her. Supporting indie artists is extremely important. If you complain that you don't like what they play on the radio over and over and over again, then we are giving you great music from great independent artists. So I want y'all to make sure y'all check her out. Before we get into your song, do you have any shout outs you want to give? And also tell people how they can get in touch with you and support you.
Okay, so shout out to my entire production team, AJ Throwback and Gladiator and Ransom Relic. They look out for me like nothing else. I think like I have to tell them sometimes, settle down. You don't have to beat everybody up. Like, so it's not like, I promise you, it's okay. So shout out to my entire team. They work really hard. We all work really hard. My vocal coach, I do have a vocal coach. I don't care how high I get up in this game. I will always have a vocal coach. Her name is Marion. So shout out to my vocal coach, my family, and shout out to anybody who supported this. You talked about supporting the indie artists. I'm gonna just say this. It's one thing to buy the album, but it's another thing to share it. You'd be surprised. You can buy it and leave it on the shelf, but if you share it, then that person shares it and that person shares it, and it goes a long way. So make sure, you know, I want to make sure I shout out anybody who supported this song. Thank you so much for all of your support of me, and I've got some great things coming. As far as finding me, you can find me on all socials at the Nika Ladean. So it's at TheNikaLadean. That's a mouthful, right?
It's all right. It's gonna be at the bottom of the screen. Don't worry.
So at the Nika Ladean, or by searching Nika Ladean, and then the song is streaming on all platforms. You can just search Nika Ladean Energy, and it will pop right up.
Nice.
Or you can go to my Bandcamp, nikaladeen.bandcamp.com.
All right. Well, y'all heard it here on From the Ground Up Productions. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to From the Ground Up. And like she said, sharing is important. So make sure you share this live right now. Share it with somebody else and put somebody on to this beautiful artist, this beautiful lady here that's giving us beautiful music with great energy. So we're going to get into her joint. We're going to play a snippet of it. Make sure y'all go listen to the full song on her streaming sites.
Tell me how we met.
Yes, yes, yes. I want to thank y'all again for tuning in to From the Ground Up Productions. Please make sure if y'all feeling that joint, go over to her social medias, go to her band camp, everywhere where she has her music and support her. If you want great energy and you want music that make you feel good, because I was just feeling good. And I'm sure y'all was, if y'all was paying attention and listening, go stream that, okay? Right now, go right now. Don't wait another minute. We will see y'all next week on From the Ground Up Productions. This is your girl, Lady Miz, and my co-host,
Right.
And we are out. Peace.
From the ground up. From the ground up. There's only one way to go from here.